Mr. Deputy Secretary, I would like to thank you for your contribution and effort in organizing the forum and for the opportunity to speak here, so that you would understand the share of responsibility that Vietnam assumes for ensuring stability and peace in the world, including the Asia-Pacific. I believe that the topic that we are tackling at the event is quite important. It ensues from the complexities of the situation and the challenges that we have to take and face. And we need to find all the solutions so that the Asia-Pacific region would become the region of peace, stability, and development. Ladies and gentlemen, both Asia and the Pacific region makes up the dynamically developing area with great potential, and it is the region that impacts not only the countries of the region but the rest of the world. And we also need to confront and the challenges and threats when there are terrorist threats and the danger of the use of weapons of mass destruction, when there are territorial disputes on land and in sea, at the sea, something that is to be a result on the basis of the international law. I can think of some non-traditional terrorism as well, and cyber threats, massive migration of people that is the trend that is expanding, and it poses a threat to all the regions. My strong opinion is that no country alone can handle such a situation, so the universal cooperation is required, primarily in our region, and we need to promote regional security mechanisms, including CN countries' mechanisms, which has really the centrality in resolving those problems. If we fail to cooperate, then the Asia-Pacific will lose its notion of peaceful, or Pacific as peaceful. Ladies and gentlemen, Vietnam suffered a lot from a long-time war, and it sacrificed a lot to maintain its sovereignty. Perhaps in Vietnam we understand better than in other countries what peace really means. That's why we are prompted to spare no effort in maintaining peace both in our country, in our region, and globally. In our international relations, Vietnam always compares its national interests with those of other countries, and we are working for our sovereignty, for our development and diversification of our international relations. Vietnam wants to be a friend and trusted partner to all the nations, and also a responsible member of the international community. The defense policy of Vietnam is peaceful and defensive in nature. Vietnam maintains the guideline no siding with one country against another. While engaging with one country, we do not harm the interests of other countries, resolving all disputes and conflicts by peaceful means in accordance with international law. Ladies and gentlemen, almost 3 centuries ago, back in 1731, Asia-Pacific nations witnessed the establishment of the Okhotsk naval base, home of the Okhotsk fleet of Russia, under the command of Admiral Grigory Sokolnikov-Pisarev. They affirmed that Russia is an Asian-Pacific nation. During the Second World War, when the Soviet Union has conducted the Great Patriotic War, the Soviet Union contributed greatly to the extinguishment, the war inferno in Asia-Pacific, and created favorable conditions for colonies in Asia at that time, including Vietnam, to gain independence. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, the role and influence and the strength of Asia-Pacific is increasing and drawing the attention of the rest of the world, and has become the crossroad of strategic interests of major powers. Asia-Pacific is of strategic importance to both regional and extra-regional countries, especially for major powers, including Russia, in terms of economy, geopolitics, and national security. The development strategy in Asia-Pacific in 21st century of Russia has identified that promoting cooperation between Russia and Asia-Pacific is not a temporary goal, but a decision with a strategic significance. We would like to see Russia to foster friendly relations with regional countries, both bilateral and multilaterally, to maintain favorable international environment, to expand cooperation, especially in the field of trade and economy, explore and magnify mutually beneficial areas of cooperation with Asia-Pacific nations. While under the strategic influence from other regions, Asia-Pacific, with a global strategic mindset, has a growing importance in strategic calculation of Russia. History have written with the contribution and assistance of the former Soviet Union and now Russia Federation to Asia-Pacific, and as well as required Russia to continue to play a high responsible role for the region, participating and contributing to regional security, including East Asia Summit, ASEAN +1, ASEAN Regional Forum, ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus, with the central role of ASEAN, as well as the Regional Security Forum Shangri-La, to be a positive factor to assist ASEAN in maintaining a regional balance, taking part in dealing with global security issues, preventing conflicts, decreasing arms race, to support the sustainability of the peaceful environment, maintaining peace and stability of the region. Ladies and gentlemen, Asia-Pacific is large enough for all to live in harmony while preserving its national strategic interest. So, we are all hopeful that all countries, especially major powers, including Russia, would have more responsibility to the regional security for the common goal of building Asia-Pacific as the region of peace, stability, and development. In other words, a truly Pacific region. Thank you very much for your attention.